Mic check, mic check. What is good, YouTube? Welcome to the live stream. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I did not do a test. I failed to do that. So let me double check really quick the audio. So just bear with me. Okay, so let's actually check it here. Ba-da-ba-ba. So usually this is something you would want to do before if you do go live, but hey, it is what it is. So thank you guys so much for even joining. I'm super excited to actually be going live right now. It's really cool to be able to be live and in the moment versus just posting a pre-recorded video. So I'm really glad that for one, you guys are going to be joining me. And today I want to answer a lot of questions about just actually your cell phone. This is such a powerful camera that helps you get a lot better video quality out of this. So just bear with me for a moment, but that's basically the topic that we'll be going over today. Okay, testing 1, 2, 3.
Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, testing 1, 2, 3.
Cool, we are live. Sweet. All right, so the first thing, let me actually pull up my notes. So the first thing that you want to keep in mind when you are shooting with your cell phone, this is so basic, but I see it happen all the time. So obviously there's a lens on your camera, right? And so as you're using your phone throughout the day, you touch it, you pick it up, you have so many fingerprints that get on there. And so the first thing before I ever take any picture or take any videos with my cell phone is I always clean it up. So it's these are pretty high quality, so it's like you can use just like whatever soft t-shirt you have. I'll usually just kind of give it a quick little wipe with my shirt, or if you have a towel or something like that. That is going to significantly improve the quality of the video that you're able to capture, or even photos. And so first things first, make sure it's always clean. And you may, after you wipe it the first time, you'll want to check, because sometimes there's still little smudges, and then that shows up in your video where it looks a little more fuzzy than it should. So rule number one, always make sure you clean that. That's something you for sure want to do. The other thing too that I see a lot of people struggle with is just even how to hold the phone. So of course, nowadays, if you're shooting for social media, or if you're just shooting for, let's say, YouTube or whatever the case is, the first thing you want to do is ask yourself what orientation you want to be shooting in. So do you want to be shooting vertically like this, or do you want to do a horizontal wide shot? So if that's the case, then obviously there's two different ways to kind of go about it. The trick that I always implement and just try is to make sure that I'm using my shoulders and hips for more of the movement versus just my arms. And the reason being is because you just get a lot more stability if you're, actually moving your whole body while you're, capturing video, versus just trying to, do it with your arm and you get the shake and things like that. So as you're, let's say you're filming, your dog or whatever running across the yard, right? If you have 2 points of contact on your phone and you kind of rotate with your hips and then move, you're going to get a much smoother shot than trying to do it this way. So always have two hands. Even if you're shooting like this, I always have like one on, the right side and then one on the left, obviously. And then I always use my whole body as I'm panning across to get whatever it is. And so that's one tip that I've learned. I actually started shooting with my cell phone way before I got any professional cameras. And so I have a ton of experience of just trying to maximize and make the most, because the cameras nowadays are so good. Honestly, there's so many good things that they're capable of. And so you want to make sure that you're taking advantage of that. And a lot of it is about you, not just the camera. So looks like we have someone that just joined in. So if you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comments below. Today, I'm covering just just basic cell phone camera techniques to be able to capture higher quality video. So if you have questions about that, or if you have questions about something similar, feel free to drop those in the comments below. And thanks for joining. So yeah, just to recap on what I've covered already, first things first, before you ever take a photo or videos with your phone, you want to make sure that you wipe the lens on the back. Make sure you have that nice and clean. That way you don't have any smudges and it kind of takes away from the video quality. The next thing is to rotate your body as you're taking videos, especially. You want to be moving your whole body and not just your arms. That way you get more of a stable shot and it's more smooth. So for example, I used the situation of, let's say you're recording your dog in your backyard, right? So you'll want to actually rotate, kind of start leaning your body, and you'll want to rotate every part of your body pretty much. So like shoulders and hips is where you want the rotation to be. And then that way you get a smooth shot, and then have both hands on the device. They already have the stabilization in the cameras, but that just ensures that you get an even smoother shot. So that's something you for sure want to be doing. Okay. And then moving on to another tip is there's a few different apps out there that are really popular for capturing video content. I know a lot of people are not necessarily video editors, but this app here makes it pretty easy to be able to put together multiple clips and turn it into one video. So the name of the app, I'll put in the comments, it's a Spark Camera. Go ahead and put that in the comments. If you're just joining, thank you so much. Welcome. And if you have any questions, today we're discussing just basic tips for getting better quality videos using your cell phone. So if you have questions and maybe something you're struggling with, or if you want to share a tip that others may enjoy, make sure you put that in the comments below. So the app that I use pretty often to make videos and turn little clips into one full video for, let's say, Instagram stories is called Spark Camera. So you can download that. I know it's available for iOS. I'm not sure about Android, but I'm assuming it is. But it's called Spark Camera. And basically what it does is, let's say you're starting a trip to, I don't know, somewhere that you're visiting, right? So let's say you start the morning. You want to kind of capture different things throughout the day, but you don't want to shoot separate video clips. You want it all to be in one and be saved. This app lets you start, let's say it's you getting into the car and you want to take people on a journey of how your whole travel day went. You can start by recording just, part one. Hey, today we are going to Yosemite. We're super excited, yada, 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 right? And then after that, 30 minutes later, you can go back to the app. And then now let's say you're on the road and you want to actually show like, all right, now this is the beautiful view that we have right off the freeway. You can see the trees, yada, yada, yada. So it's really cool. And it basically just lets you compile all these video clips into one and save them into one video. So I think the maximum is about a minute or so as of right now. So it's perfect for Instagram stories. And that's just one way to take your videos to the next level versus just only doing it in the app. This allows you to kind of have different little micro clips. So I can hold it, let's say, for 2 seconds and just show, the trees maybe that are passing by. And then I can release my finger from the camera. And then I can show something else and just have all these different little clips that turn it into one video versus me being only able to show that moment. So that's what I like about it. I use it for work a lot and just for fun things. So it's definitely a cool app to check out if you haven't. Okay. The part two is there's a lot of different tools that you can use that are basically like cell phone gimbals. I'll go ahead and put that in the comments. So basically what a gimbal is it lets you basically handhold your phone. I'm sure you've seen people walking around and it's this little like metal rod that goes under the phone and then it keeps the phone either this way or that way and it keeps it smooth. So those cell phone gimbals are really nice because if you do, you don't want to invest in a camera yet, but you do want to be able to get some smooth shots. That's what I actually started with, was just like a cell phone gimbal, Gimbal. And that made it easier for me to be able to capture things even smoother. Now I'm at a point where I could just do it by hand, but in the beginning I needed some help. So it's, tools out there like that. And so the gimbal helped me to be able to like walk around, get smooth shots, and, you know, do low pans and do moving things and stuff like that, as if I was carrying a professional camera on like a larger gimbal. And so those usually range from, I'd say, like 100 to 250-ish. So depending on your budget, maybe something that you want to look into. Otherwise, like I said earlier, make sure that you always keep 2 hands on your device, and then that way, and move nice and slow. Don't rush. Don't make any sudden movements. You'll get a much more visually pleasing shot if you just take your time, because cell phones are really good. The video qualities that you get nowadays is really awesome. So you'll want to for sure just keep those things in mind. So those are just a couple of the points I wanted to touch on today. I'd love to hear from you guys and find out what topics you want me to cover in the future. Feel free to, you know, leave it in the comments or shoot me a DM. All of my social media channels are just at Dakari Carter. So feel free to send me a message on Instagram, LinkedIn, or Twitter. That's where I'm mainly active, on all 3 of those platforms. And then, of course, you can comment on some of my other YouTube videos. So thank you so much for subscribing and for watching and supporting the channel. And I look forward to helping you and answering any questions that you have. All right, catch you later. Peace.